Hello, everybody, and welcome. So, yeah, in my last video, I did a book haul from Pulpfest, which a surprising amount of you saw, which is cool. But also, who are you people? Where did you come from? No, that's awesome. I appreciate it. So if you're new here, welcome. My name is Brian, and I think books are cool. Uh, um, yeah, so I went to Pulpfest, as I mentioned in my previous video, and I bought some stuff, and I had a lot of fun, and I showed off my haul in that one. And I kind of hinted at the end that I might have also acquired a bunch of pulp magazines, and left you with a bit of a cliffhanger. So I would like to show those off today and kind of say why I have them, because I have a lot of books, but I'm a newborn baby when it comes to pulps. I know nothing. I've never owned a single one. I just don't. I mean, I know what they are. I knew what they are, and that they existed, and that they are like magazines with fictional, like, literature stories in them, all story magazines, published from sort of the late 1900s through 60s maybe ish, and that they were made of a very cheap paper, made of pulpwood. And I know that a lot of great writers got their start in the pulps, and my cat is going to jump up here, I can already tell. And he's sniffing the pulps now. They do have a good smell. So, I knew the basic knowledge, but I never really got bit by the pulp bug, because, I certainly don't need more things to desire to bring into my home. So when I was at Pulpfest on the last... Stop, get your claws out of the couch. I know, you got stuck. My cat doesn't know how to cat. He gets stuck in the couch sometimes. So on the last day, I was kind of like, well, maybe I'll buy one, because most of them ranged anywhere from 10 to 12 on the low end to 80, I would say, is what the majority were, but they went all the way up to like $3,000. We saw a Weird Tales that was $3,000. And so a lot of them are a little pricey for my personal blood. But there was a guy that had a box of pulps. He had like 3 boxes that were $5 pulps. And I was like, you know what? I can do that. So I kind of flipped through, and they were not in great shape. But I don't care. They're readable. I want to read them. And so I bought one for $5. I bought this issue of Amazing Stories Science Fiction Magazine from May of 1951. I thought this man looked like a lot of fun. Spine is still intact. But as you can see, it says back cover is loose and there's water damage. But still, I was really excited. I was like, $5 pulp, awesome. And I felt satisfied. And so then I went about my day, and towards the end of the day, the vendor room was closed, and everyone was just hanging out. So me, Jake from Pulp Mortem, Tim from Secret Fire Books, Paul from Geeks Love Dogs, and Tim's dad were like, hey, there's this auction, live auction, let's go watch it. That could be fun, even if we're not going to buy anything. So we all go in there, and we start noticing, as Jake mentioned in his book haul, which he hyped up my Pulp haul a lot. Maybe that's where a lot of you people came from. in the last video. But we started noticing that a lot of people in the room were fairly quiet on most of the auctions that were going up. And some things were even getting passed on for like $10. Like nobody was bidding on them. And then you would get certain items that were clearly collectible and sought after. And those were people were starting bidding wars and paying like $2,500 for like a lot of pulps. Like there was this one lot of People's magazine, not People magazine, but People's from like the early 1900s, like 8 of them, and that went for like $2,500, which we thought was interesting because there were other lots of People's magazine that went for like 60. So there must have been something special in that one lot, but you know, as I said, I'm a newborn baby. I don't know anything about pulps. So it was fascinating to watch, but we noticed that a lot of the more worse condition things, or kind of like when they would say like lot of random whatever, that these were going for like really cheap prices. And so a lot of the first 3 issues of Mammoth Adventures went up for $40. So $40 for 3 pulps, and Jake threw his hand up and nobody bid against him, and he won. And we were like looking at each other. We were like, yeah, dude, that's awesome. I can't believe you won that. We were so excited because, you know, we don't know anything. Maybe it's not a good deal. Seemed like it was. And Jake was excited, and he, you know, feeling all like, yeah, I won that. You know, he was like, all right, later losers, I'm blowing this popsicle stand. And he went to the lobby. He said he was going to go order a pizza. And Tim went with him, and they were hanging out. And me and Paul and Tim's dad stuck around. Tim's dad wanted a bid on these vintage baseball books or something, sports stuff. And so, yeah. So I'm starting to learn how a live auction works, and I noticed that some of them have what's called a reserve, and if the bidding does not get up to a certain amount, whoever won the bid for like $50, they're like, okay, there's a reserve on this item though, so you won the bid, but you have to pay at least $150, and then that person would either say, I still want it, or I don't want it, and they would pass. As you can see, I've never been to a live auction. I didn't know anything. So I started looking through at all of these things that were kind of like, because you had a list of all of the upcoming auctions. And so I'm looking through for things that kind of seem like a big lot of generic stuff, and there's no reserve. And so way down the list, I see 35 science fiction pulps, no more description than that. No reserve. And I was like, surely, you know, people are going to bid for this, right? And it was pretty far down the list, but I was like, well, I'm just going to hang out and see what happens. And if it's cheap enough, I'll throw my hand up. And they get to that one because I'd been waiting. And he starts the bid at $40. And I was like, $40 for 35 pulps. I would pay that. So I throw my hand up, and I kind of put my head down because I'm like, oh God, someone's going to just outbid this, and I'm not going any higher. And he's like, going once, going twice, sold. And I was like, what? And they were described as 35 random reading condition pulps. But I don't care. I don't know anything about this stuff. I'm just excited to have them and to read them. And so I got them. I got a whole box of science fiction pulps for $35. I got 35 pulps for $40. So then I go out into the room, into the lobby, and after sufficiently rubbing it in Jake's face and eating the pizza that he paid for, thank you, Jake. I was like, you can take one, Jake, because you gave me a bunch of free books. He also gave me one of the books that he bought that day, which I was excited about. So I was like, take a pulp. And he took one. And then I also was like, if you're more interested in the science fiction ones than your adventure ones, I'll trade you a science fiction one for an adventure one. And he was down for that as well. And so I traded him for this Mammoth Adventure because it looks stunning. Yeah. And I think for now, I'm just going to be showing these all off in the bags, just like this, because there's 35 of them. But I just watched a video recently from L-SpaceArchive. I'll link their channel below. I'm loving his channel. It's like, it's brand new. They have like, I can't remember his name now. He has like 5 videos out. And I'm kind of obsessed with his whole vibe. And it's a really fun channel if you like science fiction, so go check it out. But he did a haul recently of a few pulp science fiction magazines where I really liked how he did it. He had the camera over it, and he had like marked all the pages with cool illustrations, and he was doing like a nice flip through. And I really want to like show some of these off because I'm not afraid to open them. I've already opened most of them and looked through them. I fully intend on reading these, and so I would love to read them, review like an entire pulp issue, maybe do like a flip through. But there's just too many here to do that in this video. I just want to show them off for now. But if you guys are interested in seeing more of the insides of these, please let me know. And you'll see a lot of these are not in great condition. But so I got this Fantastic Adventures. I'm not going to tell you guys the year and date for all of these because some of them I can't even read it. This is May of 1941. But you can tell it's like water damaged and there's some ripping on the spine and stuff, but very cool still. I love that that cover. This issue of Planet Stories. Yeah, you can see that one doesn't even have a spine left. So I definitely cannot tell you much about that. Startling Stories. These are incredible. They're like pieces of history. I'm so into these. I've been bitten by the bug now. I can't tell you how much research I have done into pulp magazines now. I'm like, damn it. I'm so into them. This is May 1940 something. Yeah. Let's see, Startling Stories. And a lot of these have really great authors in them. I've already found some stuff with Manly Wade Wellman in it, and Henry Kuttner, and all kinds of people. This one is May 1948. Amazing Stories. This one is, what is it on the spine? February of something. Ooh, spaceships in Antarctica. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Also, guys, if you like the smell of old books and you haven't cracked into a pulp magazine, ooh, it's like an old book on steroids. It's like just punches you in the face with pulp. It's nice. It's good. This one does not even have a cover, unfortunately, but everything's intact inside, even the back cover. But this is Amazing Stories from 1942. Another one with no cover, but it says Amazing Stories from April of 1950. Yeah, that's a bummer. No back cover, no cover, but still readable. Another Amazing Stories from fall of 1943. And these ads are hilarious. Secrets of Love and Marriage. I love it. Another startling story is this one with the dragon thing. Jake was looking through the box to decide which ones he wanted to keep. And I saw him set that aside, and I was like, you can't have that one. Yeah, I can't read when that one's from. Another thick Amazing Stories Quarterly from winter of 1949. I really like this bubble woman. Famous Fantastic Mysteries. And this actually has The Star Rover by Jack London. I was like, Jack London wrote sci-fi? I don't know, pretty cool. 1947, looks like February. Look at this, bear. This bear drinking whiskey, I love it. They don't make ads like that anymore, do they? This Amazing Stories. With a John W. Campbell story in it. So basically, I got all of these pulps for like $1.60 each, if I did my math right there, which, regardless of condition, that is an absolute steal of a deal, if you ask me. Amazing Stories. Again. Nervous stomach, you need some alum garlic tablets. I'll get you guys some. I'll order them off there and send them out as gifts. Future combined with science fiction stories. Very cool. Astonishing Stories. From April of something. Oh, Lord. Have you tried a Lucky lately? Have you tried a Lucky lately? Famous Fantastic Mysteries. Famous Fantastic Mysteries from 39. There's Startling Stories. I just love these, dude. They're like a time capsule. They're so cool. I mean, this is how a lot of these classic stories were first read. It's amazing. Oh, I can even smell this one through the bag. Whew. And Edmund Hamilton in that one. Oh, it says the year 1945. Hospital and doctor bills paid. Nice. Fantastic Novels magazine with Ship of Ishtar in it, an absolute classic. Very cool. famous, fantastic mysteries. I really like this cover. It's fun. Super science stories. She's like, do you see what's happening up there? Yeah, everybody sees that. She's like, you seeing this shit? This one looked pretty interesting, actually. I was kind of excited about this one, even though it doesn't have the cover anymore. Think of Death by Richard and Frances Lockridge. You can see here it is too complete with some like ghouls. I looked this one up. There's two. I think the name of the magazine is Two Complete Detective Books. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I guess I got a detective one. Thrilling Wonder Stories. Oh, there's a special science quiz. I bet I'd fail it. Should we find out? Should I do it in a video? Show you how I don't know anything about science? Okay. This one, yeah, this is another one that I told Jake he couldn't have. This might be my favorite cover of the lot. An octopus taking over the roller coaster. That's too good. Thrilling Wonder Stories. Lee Brackett story in that one. Another Startling Stories. Thrilling Wonder Stories with Henry Kuttner in there. Startling Stories. Where's this one from? 55. Fantastic Famous Mysteries from April of 1942, if whoever wrote that is to be trusted. To people who want to write. This lady wrote, look at that, 50-year-old sells first story before completing the course. I'm impressed, Helen. Helen, good job. We got a couple westerns here too, which is interesting. Street and Smith's Western Story magazine. Amazing Stories. That's a cool cover too. He's up on that like steel beam. Oh, little hole in the cover there, but Two Complete Science Adventure Books. Ooh, we got an L. Ron Hubbard and an Isaac Asimov. Very cool. And this, I'm sorry. Dude, this ad, I saw this and I was dying. Look at this, all right? Here is immediate comfort for you with the new Rupture Easer for men, for women, for children. throw away those gouging, torturing trusses and get new relief with the rupture easer. It appears to be for hernias. You wear it to push your hernia back in, I guess. Is that a thing still? I don't know. It's for men, for women, and for children. So, there you go. Now you know. And the last one, another Western action. Which is very cool. And yeah, that's now my pulp collection. I'm pretty stoked about it. And like I said, I do want to read these, open them up, do some flip throughs, show you guys what's on the inside if you're interested. Maybe do some full reviews of like everything page to page or cover to cover. Yeah, that's what I got. Thanks, guys. Let me know about pulp stuff that you know.